So I want to list off some accomplishments that I have had in my life. I've definitely slept for over 10,000 hours. Pretty proud of that one. I've used the bathroom thousands of times. Now I don't enjoy running really, so I bet cumulatively in my whole life I've run like 3 miles. Like the number of times that I've eaten at Chipotle, I don't even think you can count that. At this point, I think I'm keeping Chipotle open, personally, just saying, you're welcome. And finally, total miles driven in my car, I mean, it's more than 10. Basically, I don't really keep track of those metrics because they don't matter to me. And yet, if you were to look at your business and go online and they're going to tell you all these metrics that matter you need to keep track of, it's overwhelming, it's too much. So instead, let's look at the metrics that do matter, or at least how to get to those metrics. So the way we're going to do this is by asking ourselves some questions. First question, how do your customers get to you, aka your business? Is it through an online site? Is it through word of mouth? And obviously it can be any number of these things, but what is the majority of your customers? And obviously this can be affected by whether you're a B2B or B2C. But how do your customers find you? Because now with that information, you can start to track down the analytics and the metrics that matter. Whether that is, let's say for a website, you can see what your click-through rate is, what your bounce rate is, what the total duration per page is, and there you can make your adjustments. All right, next question. What type of inventory do you deal with? Are we talking about drop shipping? Do you deal with a lot of expiration or perishable goods? Do you have something where you make only a certain number of projects or products in a year because they're so large, etc.? There's so many ways to manage and track inventory, and you need to handle yours specific to your business. And so once you figure out what your model is, which obviously you probably already know, now you can fine-tune how many raw goods you have on the shelf per se, or how much of an item you need to keep in stock because it sells more. You can perform an ABC inventory count and find the priority of what matters most relative to the inventory that you sell. But once you're able to acknowledge the type of inventory that you're dealing with, you can now make appropriate adjustments and look at those metrics. Following this, what type of distribution model do you use? Are you selling through a third party? Do people mostly order through an online or e-commerce type of site? Or are you dealing with other business providers and they're just sending you an invoice, or you have some type of product catalog and then you're shipping it out through freight? What are you using as your distribution model? Because once you actually look at how you're distributing your products, you can see where you can save time and money, whether it is finding better freight rates because you're shipping at a larger volume and so you're going to focus more on getting better rates through companies. Or maybe it benefit you to actually use drop shipping through another company because you're selling so much of their product and yet you're just bringing it right to your place and then shipping it out again. Maybe you'll save money by just drop shipping out through that particular supplier. So look at what your distribution model is and then look at the metrics of where you can save time and save money. And finally, this one's really hard to kind of manage and track, but you need to be asking, how am I interacting with my customers? Is it mostly through email? Is it through social media? Is it through my website? And again, it could be a lot of these things, but you need to look at your own numbers so that you can know where to put the majority of your focus. Because in this day and age, yes, we are all focusing on the internet, and there's a heavy emphasis on e-commerce, and for good reason. But if you're worried about bounce rate and total number of views on a page, when the majority of your customers are not coming through your website, you might be focusing on the wrong metric. So find the right metrics for you and your business and keep track of the things that matter. Like, for example, I think I have 9 kids. I don't know, it might be 10, it doesn't matter. I'm James, this is Whiteboard Wednesday.